Thanks for joining us. This is BEPC. We have our monthly meetings on the third Monday of the month, and we have different speakers each time. And coming up this month on Monday, January 21st at 5:30 p.m. in Kent, we are having Tony White come to speak with us. He's going to be sharing about the astrology for 2019 and also his animated astrology. So welcome, Tony.
Thank you.
Please tell us a bit, what is it that you'll be sharing at the talk that you do for BEPC?
Well, I'm going to do a kind of mixed bag. I hope it's fun. I'm going to be talking about the serious astrology in terms of what's coming up, not just some of the main things that are coming up in 2019. In fact, one that's going to build up late in 19 and actually come bigger in 2020. So I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to show a lot of my work because although I've been a lifelong student of astrology and studied it very seriously, it's only been in the last year and a half that I've started practicing in the idea that astrology was so significant in transforming my life in my teenage years, and it completely made my career by that transformation, that I want to start giving back at this age, this time in my life. I want to give back and share my knowledge and use my skills as an animator and an artist to communicate what astrology really is about, and even how you can learn it yourself to look after yourself and your friends and your family and things like that. So I'm hoping it's going to be a fun bag. I'm going to show animation. I'm going to show some of my old animation that's nothing to do with astrology, but it should be interesting to people because most of it being from the UK based, you probably wouldn't have seen it before. And then I'm going to show some actual animation I've done that relates to astrology, which is a direction I'm going in right now. And I think you'll get a preview of some of the things I do. And I'll talk about astrology. And if people bring their birth details, that's the time, date, and place of their birth, I'm going to put them in a hat or in a box and draw out one, and we'll do a live talk. I won't give away too many dark secrets or even names, but it'll be interesting to show how an astrologer goes through and does a basic interpretation of a chart and what that all means.
Great. And I know if people are looking at the Facebook, either the Facebook event or, I guess we don't have it online, but definitely if you go searching for BEPC on Facebook, you'll be able to see the event and you'll see some images of some of Tony's art for the people that are looking. You don't just happen to have anything in front of you that you can show us, right? We didn't talk about that ahead of time.
What I will do, I do happen to have this. The very first thing, when I started working more professionally as an astrologer, I thought the first thing I'm going to do is going to take my knowledge and my art skills and put them together. And I created this book, The Secret Life of Stars, if you can see that. And it's basically, the subtitle is An Introduction to Self-Understanding for the Astrologically Challenged. And what that means is if you know nothing about astrology, I hope the book will actually ease you into it in a very, very gentle but fun way. I don't know if you can see, but I've actually created characters that, although amusing to look at, they do represent very strong principles, but they're a nice way to ease into it. And there's more here. And even if you flip the book, I don't know if you can see it, but you can actually see the planets moving.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So I had to bring my animation into it somewhere. So I'll be talking about that. I'll be showing some more material from that. And I'll bring some to sell, of course, if anyone wants to buy them, and I'll do signings. The other thing I did when I finished that book, people said to me, we love those characters you created for the book. How about doing something else with them? So I ended up doing a pack, a deck of cards, and the basic astrological cards. The original intention was to create flashcards that represented the planets in all the signs, 10 planets in 12 signs, so there's 120 cards. And my encouragement to students was to take a card, learn the message of it as you pick it up, put it in your pocket and spend a day with it. And I promise you, in the world around you, you'll see examples of that principle coming alive, and you'll learn it so much better. It's more organic and it's more real. And then if you do that for 120 days running, you pretty much learn all the things you need to do an astrology reading. But the very weird thing, and it was totally flashcards for teaching, the very weird thing is that my wife said, I wonder if you can do readings with those like tarot. And she sat down and started doing readings with them. And it's amazing, that staggered me that they actually work for readings. So that was the next stage. We printed one set of cards to test them out, but then other tarot readers saw them and said, we love your cards. Can you do packs of them? So we ended up, boxing them up and selling them. And then they said, well, can you give us more information about the cards? So I ended up creating this book, which actually details all the information about every card, gives more details. And in the back, it kind of shows you some suggested spreads you can use, different spreads for the cards. So, pretty crazy stuff. And it's been an amazing year of exploding creativity for me.
Yeah, I had no idea that all this was happening so recently, because when we first connected, like all this stuff already existed. So I just had no idea, or it seemed like it already existed. I had no idea it was all happening so soon, so recently.
Some of it, the book, The Secret Life of Stars book, I had written some time ago as a general introduction, but never did anything with it. And that's when I decided to commit myself to astrology and do more with astrology through my art skills. I suddenly thought, why don't I illustrate and develop that book? And that's what happened. There is one other thing. I'll just show you one other thing I did. I also, way back, I used to do a lot of spiritual development work and psychic development work back in England. And out of that came a whole series of transcribed or inspired readings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually published them recently as a book called The Hermit, and it has a lot of spiritual teachings in it that were given to me way back. So yeah, a mixed bag, but it just seems this year exploded into all kinds of creativity for me. And people appreciate it, and that's so rewarding,
Well, what a lovely time to have you come speak. This is really exciting. And so if people want to find out more about you on the web, where do they go?
To see all my astrology works, you go to www.startoons, that's TOONZ.com, startoons.com. If you want to learn astrology, I've actually put, on top of everything else, I've got startoonsacademy.com, where you can find, there's one free course and there's one pay-for course about how to do astrology. And then if you do want to see about my career in animation, go to TonyWhiteAnimation.com.
That's great. That's great. And then they can come see you at BEPC's monthly talk. It's January 21.
Yep.
We're meeting at Denny's Restaurant in Kent. It's at 1246 Central Ave North. 5:30 to 6 is our general meeting. And then the talk is from 6 to 8. Come early, at 5:30 and grab some dinner. And it's only $5. It's $5 if you're a member of the public, and if you're a member of BEPC, it's free. BEPC is a nonprofit. Thank you so much, Tony. It's been great chatting with you. I'm excited about your talk on the 21st.
And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for inviting me.
You're so welcome. All right.